Hey guys, and welcome back to some more Armoured Warfare. Now, I haven't done a video on this in months because one of the patches increased the requirements on the PC, which meant I couldn't record it any longer. However, we are now back. We are going to be doing some more gameplay. We're in PvE hard mode here, and we are in the British main battle tank, the Challenger 2. Now, as I say, British Challenger 2 is currently still in service and packs a rather fantastic 120mm gun. You've got a choice of two ammo types. You've got AP FSDS, or Armour Piercing Fin Stabilised Discarding Sabo, and you've also got HESH, which is High Explosive Squash Head. Now, in terms of my loadout on my Challenger 2, I only bring the AP. I'm not a fan of the HESH. Most times in this, with the Challenger 2, it's got such a punchy gun, you don't really need the high explosive element of the HESH. However, you really only get the choice of two different ammo types in this. Unlike the higher tier main battle tanks, like the Russian ones have smoothbore guns, which means they can fire ATGMs, or the anti-tank guided missiles. Because the British guns are all rifled, you can't actually do that with them, which is kind of it's not too much of a problem, to be honest, because to sort of compensate, the British gets a it's a decent fire rate, high accuracy and high penetration gun. So we've got the Stingray coming in, going to put one in underneath its turret ring. We've knocked out its turret. So we've got the Ramka coming in as well. I'm going to try and get round it because it's a lot easier to pen this thing from the side. There we go. And I'm going to try and position myself up on this little ridgeline here. It's a really good spot for this. The Crab is getting some fantastic shots into the side. That's another video to come, is the Crab. I rather like that thing. So we've got Terminator 2 behind us. Another thing is, this thing is so ridiculously well armoured, it's unreal. The Challenger 2 is just so heavily armoured that you will very rarely take damage. As you can see, now I'm sat here, being shot at by this Terminator 2, not really worried about it. And then I will just put one straight through his driver's hatch and knock him out. So, as you can see, the entire point of these videos is I'm going to sort of show my thinking as I'm playing playing the game. So I'm just basically positioning myself here, armour towards the enemy. They don't seem to be paying too much attention to me at the moment, which I kind of was hoping that was what was going to happen. I was putting myself in such a way that I could... oh, that was a dodgy shot. Managed to put one straight through his the breech of his cannon in there, which is surprising that I didn't just do module damage, really. Finish him off. There's an expeditionary tank as well. I'm sure the Crab's going to annihilate that before it gets in range. There we go. Oh no, the ET-90 EMS got him. Hopefully the Crab is going to do his job and actually do some of the secondary objectives, which it would be useful about now. Oh, I found the artillery. And the Crab's going to come and try and take it. I'm going to try and get the Crab to do the secondaries, hopefully. M8 Thunderbolt to the side. Good shot into the rear of it. Let's see if we can get the Crab to actually do the secondary objectives. It's kind of what he's designed for. He's a quick enough tank to get round and do the secondary objectives. Unfortunately, he's too focused on wanting to do damage and is now going to screw the rest of the team over for XP. Which is one of the problems with this, to be honest. As you can see, that the Ramka there has explosive reactive armour on there, which is actually exactly the same as I have on the Challenger 2 here. Challenger 2 has, as you can see, explosive reactive panels all around the tank, which basically is going to disrupt not only things like the high explosive anti-tank shells, but is also going to deal with the anti-tank guided missiles as well. So as you can see, that Thunderbolt down there is firing either heat or high explosive at me. which basically means that my ERA on the side here has done its job and has blocked the damage. I got very unlucky there with the shot from the Ramka. I'm going to try and put one through his driver's hatch, and he's down. As you can see, as I said earlier, this thing is ridiculously bouncy. The amount of shots we've taken so far, I mean, there's a T90 MS Lieutenant down there. Now, they're heavily upgraded. They're basically a fully upgraded tank. And I've taken no damage. This, like, I've taken how many shots now? Still got shots at the side of this T90. The crab is still not wanting to do the objective, which is not really helping us at all. I've got a side shot at the turret of this C1. Take that. There's T90 MS behind me, which means I need to very quickly spin the tank round. Thankfully, he missed the shot. Otherwise, that was going to be a lot of damage. Crab is still refusing to do the side objective, so I'm going to have to... I think our T90 MS is going for it. Now the crab's going for the objective, which is finally about time. So we've got M8 Thunderbolt over there. Can aim, take the shot, lower glacis, straight through the underneath. There we go. Now I actually didn't finish talking about the armour of this thing. Currently equipped on this, I have got also the, as part of the ERA upgrade, I've got the cages on the back. Now the cages are designed to knock out anti-tank guided missiles, basically. And this M1 is coming straight for me, straight through the driver's hatch. Let's stop him. Let's angle the armour, pull back, enter the engine. The crab has got himself into a bit of a predicament over there. So I'm going to have to try and push into the city. In fact, we are being capped, so I need to very quickly get into the centre. This is where the armour of the Challenger 2 is going to come into its own. Reset the cap, hopefully. Nope, it didn't reset. Oh, in fact, it did reset. Let's just push straight into the cap. Let's get shots into everything in here. Let's go through this tiny little gap, and here we go. Now it's time to show you how good the armour is on this thing. I am now officially wedged in this little gap here. Into the engine of the Terminator 2. I still haven't needed... I've got the M8 Thunderbolt. Actually, the M8 Thunderbolt being behind me is an issue. Hopefully my teammates can deal with that. He died before I did. As you can see, I've probably lost all the front corner, like, ERA panels now. He's finished. The T90 MS is actually pushed up to help as well. The Thunderbolt actually came all the way around here. Get the shot in. There's another M8 Thunderbolt over here. I don't know where he came from, but... It was thankful me in this T90 were paying attention. In fact, if it wasn't for me being in the cap zone when I was, we would have lost this. The crab managed to get himself killed by just rushing off into the objective, which is fine. I mean, he could have done the side objective way earlier. If he'd have done the side objective way earlier, he wouldn't have had a problem. He wouldn't have died. So, as you can see, like, the difference is, I mean, look at the T90 MS down on, you know, he's down almost 2,000 health. And it's very low health now. And I've taken, what, 100, maybe? If that. Help this guy out. Little weasel. Oh, wow. I actually managed to miss the weasel entirely. That was quite impressive. He set the weasel on fire and then rammed him. Now, there's a Terminator 2 over there, which could be bad news for that T90 MS. So I'm going to push up, I'm going to give him a hand, and I'm going to run into a whole bunch of stuff as well. So let's hit that Thunderbolt. He's going for that Paladin, which is not really the smartest idea. The Paladin can't do a lot against him. Did I? Okay, the arty just tried to arty me, which is fine. Just going to keep reversing. In fact, I could probably face up this guy. Through his turret. Now, we're in danger of losing 2 friendly tanks here. If we're not careful. This Terminator 2 could wreck both of them, so I'm going to come around here and we're going to give them a hand. Alright, they didn't need it, which is thankful. But these guys need to be careful now, because if anything breathes on them, they're going to die. Oh, it was actually friendly. It was friendly artillery that tried to... Okay. I didn't realise we had friendly artillery on our team. So basically, we've got 10 seconds of the game remaining. This is the Challenger 2. As you can see, I've lost pretty much all my reactive armour. I've also got extra armour down here on the lower plate. But as you can see, the amount of the shell holes and, you know, all the damage from all the shells that hit me. This thing took... I took an absolute beating during that game. And just barely lost any health, and that is the advantage of the Challenger 1 and the Challenger 2. While the guns might not be the strongest compared to the other T9 main battle tanks, it's definitely got the armour to just get up there, get in the action, and just tank the entire enemy team, because that's what this thing does. It is ridiculously strong, ridiculously well armoured. So, I wonder how we did in terms of the damage on the team. I think we did fairly well. I'm not convinced we're going to get top. The crab puts out a crazy amount of damage really quickly. I think I did pretty well. Well, okay then. 19,000 damage. 14,000 spotting damage. Well, nearly 15,000 spotting. That was actually kind of impressive. Yeah, top damage on the team. Actually by quite a distance. As you can see, the crab puts out a silly amount of damage so quickly, even though he died before the final objective. So, 10 kills, 12 assists, 20 spots in the Challenger 2. Saved the game, whilst the game, well, we were almost capped out. We had probably like 7 seconds left. And that is basically what the Challenger 2 does best. Gets in there, gets in the action, and just bounces absolutely everything. So guys, I hope you enjoy the first Armoured Warfare video back for quite some time now, and this is going to be a fairly regular thing, maybe once or twice a week. We're going to look at different tanks. I would actually quite like to see your suggestions in the comments below, what tanks you would like to see as well. But as always guys, many thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.